GM. So, Bitcoin's going to all-time highs, right? Maybe, who knows? But I think Bitcoin has a decent chance of at least going a lot higher towards that level. Ethereum, as well, I think has got some resistance above it right now. But I think once it gets going, it's going to get up there as well very fast. It's basically once the market kind of digests where we're going next, that I think a lot of these, they just move super fast through these ranges, right? And maybe it's going to be like that for Ethereum. Maybe it hits 4K, whatever, gets us excited, gets us close to the all-time high. And I think Solana can actually go to all-time high. Now, Solana has to clear 150, but once it clears 150, I think there's not much stopping it at that point, right? That's still a pretty big resistance here initially around this level, and this kind of 150 spot in that zone, right? But do I think it rejects from there and goes back down? Doesn't make sense. To me, it just doesn't make sense. You know, if you're of the opinion that these things go to new all-time highs and that we have a new bull market with higher prices and the market grows, what's more likely to happen is it's going to go to that level and then build a base to run from there, right? And that all of this just gets left behind. That's sort of what I'm viewing and thinking about for the next few weeks. And obviously, trading wise, you don't want to have a big fucking prediction of this happening and then tie your whole ego and your everything into it. No. I think the whole market keeps going up. I think Bitcoin and Solana can go to all-time highs. ETH's lagging, but I think ETH can too, especially once the ETF for ETH starts to take over. And I think it happens faster than anybody expects. People are over allocated into altcoins. The altcoins start to lag, and the majors rip. And by the time everyone FOMOs back into the majors, they're done. And that's probably 2-3 weeks straight march up. Because this is the thing, people have faded Solana all the way, right? We're going to fade Solana again at 150. So just to be clear, if you didn't see, I got into Solana at 101, 102, 103, 104. I was buying last night. Just buying some spot. And basically, very simple. EMAs. There we are. Big breakout, retest the EMAs. That's a good buy. And 3-day pullback into them. People call them top in Solana, bearish in Solana, blah, blah. I mean, people will fade 150, right? They'll fade 200. And they'll probably just fade it all. And then eventually, it'll be a new paradigm and it'll sell off. And then it'll just sell off into something like this. It won't go back to zero like they want it to, right? That's what I'm expecting. Something like this. Don't quote me on the exact path. Maybe it's totally wrong. But we're at this point where, you know, unfortunately, this is the thing. Like, so I don't know if this is going to happen. And you have to understand that I'm positioned from lower on Bitcoin. I'm positioned from a bit lower on Solana, or on Ethereum, sorry. And I'm positioning at Solana right now, but I won't bag hold this to zero. Yeah. This part is still just a trade. This is not me coming out saying I'm a big Solana maxi or a Solana bull or whatever. So don't misinterpret it. This is just my belief of what will happen next and my path that I think it will follow. And it's mostly based off the fact that I just still, everything I see is that people are calling tops for the 10th time or wanting a deeper pullback, like a much deeper correction to get long. But unfortunately, the most difficult thing for people to trade is a bull market rally because they don't know how to trade it. Because if you didn't buy lower, people are not good at buying higher. until eventually they capitulate and buy the top. It's funny. People do not want to buy higher when it's here. They don't want to buy that. Maybe they bought here and panicked and sold here. Maybe they'll buy again here and panic and sell there. It's just this weird phenomenon. So, am I right? No idea. Could be totally wrong. But I do think I'm right to bet on Solana here because all I saw on my feed the other day was how bullish Solana was at 130, 126. So I took a bet at 102, right? After 3 days of selling off, price starting to show some support, hitting the bands. That's all I did was take a probabilistic bet. Now, maybe we go here and we go there. Maybe it's wrong. Maybe Solana has to go like that for months. Okay, cool. But I'll cut it if it goes below 97 and closes. I won't hold Solana forever. That's what you need to understand. Like, the game I'm playing is not fucking. You really have to remove your ego. It'd be very easy for me to now double down and just constantly be bull posting Solana. I'm not going to be doing that. Solana keeps confirming my position as being valid. I'll fucking bull post till the cows come home. But if the position gets invalidated, I'm out. Right? And for me, it's tricky. It could go a bit lower, right? It can definitely go a bit lower. But I don't think it will. I think this is the bottom. And therefore, daily close below 97, I'm out of Solana spot. Even if it's the bottom, even if I'm selling the bottom. I don't care. Because that's my positioning is that my idea is that people are super wrong on Solana and they're offside. And they think this is the top, like they thought everything else was the top. And then it goes back into its usual, what Solana has been doing, which is just a march. It just marches up, right? It doesn't have to moon right away, but it just grinds up and frustrates people. And I'm not expecting Solana to fucking pump. I'm not even going to look at Solana unless it goes below 97, right? I don't care what the price action looks like in between. I just think it's going higher. Same with ETH. Swapped a bunch of my alts back into ETH. ETH is just following exactly what I would expect it to follow, right? It's come back into the 1 hour 50 EMA really nicely after a false breakout. If ETH can hold at this level, which it seems to be doing, right? If ETH continues to hold at this level, that is going to break out. This, if it stays like this, if it doesn't, it can still go down there, and then it would have to go sideways. But right now, the way it's setting up is false breakout, back inside, little trap underneath, and then away it goes again. And once ETH does that, it's just going to march to 2,500. I don't see a deeper pullback, right? I think a deeper pullback comes at 26 or 27. Not sure which one. I think that's when you get your first shakeout. Not now. Yeah, funding's high. Okay, cool. But people are forgetting, like, what does this look like to you? This is not overbought. This is pumped up, right? And then consolidated for weeks. Consolidated for 3.5 weeks. Then rallies up into the start of December, spends all of December consolidating again. Now people think that's a top. That's not a top. So I don't even think it goes back down. I don't think it even goes here. It might, inefficiency, it could fill that. But it's much more likely to front run all that because the inefficiency fillers will get front run and they'll be coping. It's spent almost the whole month of December here with 1, 2, 3 solid tests to try and go lower. And within them, three pushes there, 3 pushes there, and a retest. All the while holding its 4-hour trend. It's held all the way up. And I just don't see any reason to be bearish. Right? And then you put on the simplest thing to look at here for the rest of this move, and I'll just finish with this, is Ethereum. The drawings. Daily EMA bands. What the fuck? Daily EMA, right? There we are. If it stays above those, it's totally fine. Bitcoin. Daily EMAs. Holds the daily EMA, totally fine. Solana. daily EMA, holds the daily EMA, totally fine. And that can include going to the lower band, right? I don't think this will go to the lower band right away. Maybe it will. If it does, again, I'll still cut at 97. But if it holds the lower band, comes back up, I'll buy back in at 97 or 100 or 103. I don't mind. We are late stage rally, or supposedly late stage rally, but the later stage rally has the biggest moves. And so I'm aware of that. By the way, as well, I think ETH goes now. I think Solana does not pump for maybe a week or two. I think it's not just going to straight moon. It might, maybe, but I don't think it will. I think it's still going to chop and go sideways, and people will still think it's over and done, etc. But I think Solana will have the last laugh because it's also the easiest to pump. It's the least liquid of the three out of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. It's the least liquid, easiest for VCs to manipulate and pump and whatever, right? Jump and all those other ones. It's the easiest one to pump, and that's why Injective went all-time highs. This is not a good blockchain. Injective is not the future of finance. It was easy to pump. So I think something similar can be done with Solana. But we'll see. So, GM. Getting towards the end of the year as well. So, I think January starts off just straight green, no pullback, because I've talked about this many times. The expectation when you get to January 1st, people are going to say, do we close higher on December 31st? If yes, buy. If you've got millions or billions, and you just think very simply that the halving year, we finish higher than when we start, and it's probably going to be, what? Like 20%, 50%, 100%, 300%? It's going to be some double digit or triple digit percentage, right? Like Bitcoin, we opened the year at 43. Cool. We're probably going to close at 63 or 60 or 52 or 70 or 90. Who knows, right? So, and Bitcoin's super liquid. And if you're literally a billionaire who likes Bitcoin, that's the simplest bet to make. Year over year, BTC, USD, year over year, Bitcoin performance in a halving year, right? Halving year, 2016, green. 2020, massive green. 2024, green is the expectation. And so if you closed your eyes on January 1st, 2020 and bought at 7K, you had a little drawdown, but you're a billionaire. It's spot. It doesn't matter. And it closed that 300% up. If you put 10 mil on that, right? This is the way that many people are going to think. And so the start of the year is almost certain to be green. And then the question is, once that kicks off, how far can we go? Because once we start going up, reflexivity can kick in. We keep going up. And then you look at now, we're on the 29th of December, and people are going to front run that. So I think we finish the year green. Everyone's waiting for these dips. The dip probably comes from higher, if I had to guess. Again, I don't know, I'm not perfect, right? But if I was looking at Bitcoin, for example, well, let me use Ethereum. Back to that example I showed. Right, so we had the dip. That was the dip. We dipped yesterday, right? That was it. That was the dip. No, but it has to go here. But why? Why does it have to go there? Ethereum's ready to go up. Ethereum's been beaten down for fucking months, and everyone's laughing at it. Why would it go lower? I'm not saying it can't. I don't think it will. I think the bottom's in. I think we go from here. But why would it? Funding, open interest. Yeah, but if we have definite positive flows on the 1st of January, like I explained, some people are definitely going to be buying because this is what they do. Go back and look at the start of our years. They typically are good. If people are bullish for the year starts well. Then take that fact and realize that it's not secret. Everyone knows it. So what are they going to do? Front run it. So they start to front run it here. A little bit of sell off. What happens here? We front run it again, right? And then the hype really builds. And now the people who wanted to buy in, right? The people who were waiting for a dip don't get a dip. Then we start the new year, pumps again, And then we have a big swipe like that. And it's this that everyone's waiting for here for some reason, right? Even though there's been multiple attempts. There's been loads of attempts to do it, and it hasn't happened. It's actually probably going to come from much higher. And then it's just going to bring you back to where we are now. Or a little lower, maybe that gap gets filled. I don't know. Wicks are crazy. Wicks can go anywhere. This is all back to my point of just, for me, personally, what I'm doing, spot. Hold spot and just fucking chill. Let the market do the work. GM.